What am I doing on this Christmas day? I am ranking every single pay-per-view this year from worst to best. This is mainly on personal enjoyment, but also how stacked the card is. And it's just cards I'm grateful for and cards I'm not grateful for. As you see, the worst card of the year on my left, I'm not grateful for it. It's getting cold. And that is Aspinall versus Gane. First of all, guys, absolutely terrible main event. Had the potential to be so good, but it just sucked, man, obviously. Everyone knows the eye poke. It just sucked. Next up, terrible co-main event, absolutely awful co-main event, incredibly boring. I'm not even a female UFC fight hater. I like a lot of UFC fights, but man, this card sucked. Next up, Umar Nurmagomedov versus Bautista, also a terrible card. We don't have to look at all these. Also a terrible fight right here. This is a fun knockout. This is a great knockout. This was a pretty bad fight. This was a pretty fun fight. This fight was actually pretty good, highlight of the card. This fight was also pretty good. This fight was okay. This fight was okay. And this fight, I don't even remember at all. Yeah, guys, worst card of the year. Let me know if you agree in the comments. Next up, we got Strickland versus DDP 2, man. Main event, pretty average. It wasn't that good. I think their first fight was a little better. Co-main event, boring as hell. Big knockout in the featured fight. But man, just no star power on this card at all, man. Draw, decision, okay submission, decision. This was a pretty fun fight, Thickness versus Topuria. And Quinlan Salkiel kicked off the card with a big knockout. That was pretty fun. But man, just not a great card at all. Then next up, we have UFC 314 Pereira versus Ankalaev 1. This fight sucked. This fight sucked. Pereira looked injured. Pereira didn't look like himself. Ankalaev didn't make it that interesting either. He should have knocked him out if Pereira was that injured, and he didn't. It was just a bad fight. Co-main event, pretty fun. Not too much happened. Nice little submission for Ignacio Bahamondes here. Just a pretty bad, not even a number one contender fight on the main card. Just pretty sucked. And this is highlight of the card. One of the best knockouts of the year. It got voted as the best knockout of the year on the ESPN Awards. Great, carries the card. Spinning heel kick KO. Everyone knows it. Amazing knockout. Then next up, Joshua Van with a pretty good fight. Everyone thought he was gonna get fraud checked here, man. I've been a Joshua Van believer since day one. Everyone thought he was gonna get fraud checked because Ray Tsuruya is a really good wrestler, and he didn't. He beat Ray Tsuruya. Good fight. We also have a little submission here. Don't remember very much. We have a nice knockout from Carlos Leal. I remember this one, and just two pretty bad fights to open up the card. Still, all these cards are getting cold for Christmas, guys. The next ones are a little better, and that is Makhachev versus Moicano. I think it would have been a little higher if it was Makhachev versus Tsarukyan, but still the interest of, Tsarukyan pulling out on 1 day notice, almost unheard of in UFC. Only has happened a couple times in history, right? And then Moicano stepping in on short notice. Unfortunately, didn't make for that good of a fight. Islam got rid of him pretty quickly. But otherwise, pretty fun little news story, right? Made the card very interesting. Also, co-main event was really good. I'm not the biggest Merab fan, but this card was incredibly entertaining. This fight was incredibly entertaining. And then this carries the card, guys. Prochazka versus Jamal Hill. Just the ultimate feel-good fight. Everyone loved this fight, guys. This fight was so good. 3 rounds of Prochazka just cooking, and he finds a knockout. Great fight. This one, little knockout for Almeida, don't really care. Kevin Holland got submitted, don't really care about this one. Payne Talbot, people say got fraud checked. He obviously came back later. We're going to talk about that later. Also not a good fight. Nice little knockout for Azamat Bekoyev. He's going to be back. He also, people say, got fraud checked after this fight, but pretty good knockout. And the rest of the card is pretty lackluster. Next up, we got Dvalishvili versus O'Malley 2. This is still in the realm of lackluster cards. Main event kind of sucks. Not much happened. There was at least a finish. Co-main event was all right, I guess. There's a lot of beef behind it, I guess. It was pretty good. Then next up, we got Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer. Honestly, kind of a sleeper, pretty fun fight. I actually like this one. Then next up, we have Bautista versus Patchy Mix. I guess Bautista put on a good performance, but come on, not that entertaining of a fight. Kevin Holland got a nice submission. I did like that. Joshua Van got a big knockout. I did like that. This pretty much, set him up for the Royval fight, and this was really a big test for him, and he got that. A big knockout for Asman Mirzakhanov. Waldo Cortez Acosta always looking good, and then the rest of the card's pretty lackluster. Oh, we had that Ju Sang Yu knockout. Wow, dude, what a beautiful knockout, guys. People say he got fraud checked in his, previous fight, but he was on top of the world for this one, man. He's gonna be back. Ju Sang Yu's really good. Quinlan Salkiel with a decision, not great of a fight. yeah, this card was kind of mid. Here we're getting into the realm of slightly better cards. I think we're still in the mid range. This card is very, very, very much carried by the main event. A lot of people didn't like this main event. I thought it was fire. I enjoyed it a lot. I kind of wanted them to not get knocked out, either of them, and they both got a knockdown, so it was pretty sick. I liked it a lot. This was a really good main event, guys. Then Costa looked pretty good. This was a pretty fun fight. D-Rod versus Holland was a pretty good fight. Pitbull versus Ige was an okay fight. Michael Johnson with the fraud check, kind of, you know, okay fight. And then the rest of this card, pretty lackluster. We did have a Tebagatier and Islam Dulatov with big knockouts and a lot of submissions, actually. We had actually a lot of knockouts in a row. Oh, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knockouts in a row, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to talk about this later, guys, but when a card just absolutely kills its momentum, it absolutely sucks. It ruins the whole card. If it starts up really good, the main card of the prelims start with a lot of knockouts, and then the main and co-main or the whole main card just suck. This card luckily didn't have that treatment completely because the main event didn't suck. Still, a lot of decisions. 8 decisions is kind of crazy. Okay, now I think we're getting into the realm of good cards. This main event on paper was really good. It ended up sucking. It ended up sucking really bad. It was incredibly boring, ruined the momentum of the card completely, which is what I was talking about, because this main card started out so strong. First of all, Tim Elliott with the submission nobody saw coming. Then Cannonier and Page in a pretty fun fight. Then this carries the card, guys. This carries the card. 2 spinning back elbows in a row. Absolutely carried the card. Without it, this card would be much lower on my ranking. Nice little sub for Susurkayev. Nice knockout for Mikhail Oleksiejczyk. I remember that one. Chase Hooper got knocked out. That was a pretty big moment. And otherwise, you know, Ultimate Fighter finale, not the best card, but honestly, not too bad. Now we have Ankalaev versus Pereira 2. Pereira comes back, gets the knockout. Pretty good main event. You know, the co-main did kill the momentum of this card. It was going pretty well, and the co-main absolutely sucked. But the main event brought it back, ended the card on a high note, which is what all cards should do. Ended on a high note. People remember the last fight. They don't remember the first fight. Also, fight of the year contender, maybe my fight of the year, honestly. Prohaska versus Roundtree. I'm a huge Roundtree fan. I was rooting for Roundtree to win, and he got knocked out, unfortunately, after winning the whole fight. But it was just such a good comeback from Prohaska. I can't help but respect it. Great fight. Also, nice little, you know, step up in competition for Yusuf Zalal that he capitalized on. Joe Pyfer versus Abus Magomedov, same thing. Little step up for competition that he also capitalized on. Tebagatier with a big knockout over a guy they pulled off the street. Juseng Yu got a fraud checked, as we say, but I think he'll be back, guys. I don't like the term fraud checked a lot. Patch Mix was Jacob Wicklock's pretty bad fight, guys. Pretty bad. Edmund Shabazian with a nice little knockout, and the rest of this card is started out pretty lackluster. Not great. Still, pretty solid card. Now this guy's my top 5. All these cards from now on are good, like actually good. I enjoyed pretty much all of it. We have Muhammad versus Della Maddalena. Awesome main event. I thought Muhammad was just gonna run over him like Islam Makhachev did to JDM, which we'll talk about. Man, it was a really fun scrap. Co-main kind of sucked. Great fight, Aldo versus Zahabi. Great fight, Grasso versus Natalia Silva. Guys, don't hate on all women MMA fights. I'm a huge fan of Natalia Silva. She just absolutely walked down Grasso, kicked her in the face a bunch of times. It was just a really fun performance and a really good statement. I think she should get the title shot next. Then we got a little, you know, Santini sub. Don't really care about this one. A big knockout from Mike Malott. I remember this one. A big win for Jasmine Judovicius. I'm also a fan of Jasmine. And the rest of the card, it's all right. We got Marc-Andre Barriault, the good knockout. It's in Canada. And also Bekzat Alekman kicked off the card with a really big knockout. Man, pretty good card. Now we have the aforementioned Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. Fellas, what a terrible main event. I absolutely hate when the momentum of a card gets killed, and this one got killed. You just have a sour taste in your mouth when you turn off the TV, man. This was a really bad main event. Co-main event, also really bad, but these 3 fights, oh man, these 3 fights absolutely carried it. Maybe the best 3-fight streak of the whole year, boys. We got Benoit Santini with a 16-second knockout 4-fight streak. Let's not forget about Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel started the finish streak. We got Benoit Santini with 16-second knockout, Carlos Prates with a huge statement knockout over Leon Edwards, and then Michael Morales absolutely dog-walked Sean Brady. I was picking Sean Brady in that fight, and then when the fight started and I saw Michael Morales just towering over him, looked like a different weight division, I knew it was over for Sean Brady, and it was. Michael Morales is a freak of nature. I don't know how he cuts that much weight to 170. He looks like a 205er, bro. He looks like Alex Pereira. Yeah, great fight. Great 4-fight streak. The rest of the card, pretty mid, honestly. We had Wellmaker versus Ethan Ewing, which is one of the best fights of the year. Best debut of the year for Ethan Ewing. A really good fight. And then the rest of the card, not great. We got Susurkayev here with little knockout, Mateusz Camilo with the nice little decision. Otherwise, not a great sort of prelims, but man, these fights and Wellmaker versus Ewing, just really, really good. Entering the top 3, this might be a little bit of recency bias, but guys, Dvalishvili versus Yan 2, fantastic main event, super fun fight. Yan just absolutely put on the performance of his career, guys. Unfortunately, the co-main could have gone better. This card could have been even better if the co-main didn't end like it did, where Pantoja just broke his arm in 20 seconds, which kind of sucks. Also, I think Brandon Moreno got hit with a little bit of an early stoppage, but still a really good win for Tatsuro Taira. He did look good. Let's look at the stats. I'm pretty sure he was winning. Can't look at the stats because I'm drawing, but let's move on. One of my favorite fights of the year, boys. Henry Cejudo versus Peyton Talbot. Absolutely love this one. Absolutely love this one. Peyton Talbot just showed he has wrestling. He worked on his wrestling and it got better. He shut up the doubters and he beat Henry Cejudo for his retirement fight. Great fight. Jan Blachowicz always in a close fight or a draw. This guy can't catch a break. He's always in a split decision or a draw. Man, I think this guy needs to just switch up the style and maybe get a little, you know, better at making wins more decisive, because seriously, he's always in split decisions. Unfortunately, Terrence McKinney caught an L here. I really like Terrence McKinney. Manuel Torres got a big knockout over Grant Dawson. Nazim Sadikova's Frezziam was a really fun fight, and I was believing in Frezziam, and I was correct. We also got Edson Barbosa versus Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner's comeback, really good. Ferreira versus Vittori kind of sucked, but we also got Iwo Barnakowski versus Ibo Aslan. Iwo versus Ibo put on the fight of the year, maybe in 1 minute and 29 seconds. Fight ended in 90 seconds, and it was maybe the best fight of the year. Just absolutely fantastic fight. Go watch it if you haven't. And kicked off the card, Myron Santos with a big statement knockout. Now on to number 2, guys. Topuria versus Oliveira. I'm not really grateful for this main event. I know this is all in the Christmas spirit, but what Topuria did with Oliveira was really sad to see, but the rest of the card was great. It was great. I had to put it up here. Fun fact, this is actually pretty much the only card of the whole year. I like, even Apex cards, I watched all of them start to finish, except for this one. I missed a good chunk of it because I was actually at an amateur fight event for my team and I was taking photos of my friends' fights. So I was watching the card on my phone on data when I had the chance, but whenever one of my friends was fighting, I actually had to, you know, turn the phone off and actually take the photos. So I missed a lot of stuff on here, but I did catch the main event right before our homie, who was the main event, was walking out. And honestly, if this fight went longer, we would have had to turn it off anyways because our friend was fighting. So honestly, kind of worked out that it went as long as it did. Co-main event was pretty good. Pantoja with a statement performance. And this fight, also a funny story. I actually missed most of this fight. People say it was fight of the year. I caught the beginning of it, and then my friend started fighting, and I was just like opening my phone in between rounds when he was in his corner to watch the fight for a couple seconds, and I was just seeing them slugging. And then I was like, oh my god, my homie's fight was over. I turned on my phone. I was like, oh my god, this fight's probably still going on. And I turned it on, and I watched the last 30 seconds of the fight. I turned it on at the perfect time, and I saw Joshua Van knock down Royval. I literally turned it on at the perfect time. It was really fun memory. My brother saw it with me too. Really fun memory, really great fight, probably the fight of the year. Moicano catches an L here, unfortunately. Peyton Talbot has a great performance. Really love this fight. I caught most of it. Gregory Rodriguez with the big knockout. Jose Miguel Delgado with the big knockout. Trace Cortez with the big win. Terrence McKinney with the big submission. Jacoby Smith with the big submission, and this fight kind of sucked. But man, good card. Really good card. Bravo, UFC. Great card. You guys get presents for Christmas. Great card. And for the best card of the year, we have Volkanovski versus Lopes, guys. This card is really carried by the main event because, like I said, you just got to keep the momentum going. And this main event was a perfect cap off the night, off a pretty good card. It made a pretty good card amazing. It made it incredible because this main event was awesome. Just a vintage performance from Volk. Absolute slugfest. Didn't shoot a lot of takedowns. Actually, he did. He shot 11. Only landed 1, but just absolutely cooked up Lopes on the feet. Great fight. Great fight. Co-main, really good, really fun fight. Patty Pimble with a big knockout. Really liked that one. This fight kind of stagnated it a little bit. It was like a fun third round, but you know, not great of a fight. John Silva, say what you will about John Silva, but he had a great submission over Bryce Mitchell. Just shut up everybody and submit Bryce Mitchell. Submit Bryce Mitchell. Beat him where he's best at. It was actually a really fun performance to watch. Really good fight to watch. And Dominic Reyes with a huge round 1 knockout over Nikita Krylov. This is a great one as well. Unfortunately, one of my favorite fighters, Sean Woodson, got knocked out. I thought it was an early stoppage a little bit, so that kind of stains the card a little bit for me. But Janan and John DeRoba had an okay fight. Chase Hooper had a big win. Darren Elkins with Julian Erosa had a good fight. Mikhail Oleksiejczuk with a big knockout. Suma Derji with a fun one. And we got Marco Tullio here as well. So yeah, I think that's the best card of the year, boys. Let me know what I got right, what I got wrong. This is all just my opinion, and that's the Christmas special.